name is Jerry Ward. I'm Athabascan Indian of the Caribou tribe. And Julie, Mary Jane, when my auntie died, we just buried my last auntie. But when Mary Big Joe passed away, we had no fish for the potlatch. I called Bud, and it was one phone call. Instantly, there was fish down there, and you know what that means. And so I thank your family. I really do. You know, first off, Jerry Ward, I've been a state representative, a state senator. I'm married to my wife, Margie, 53 years this August 9th. And a lot like Senator Sullivan, yeah, your wife makes you who you are. There's no doubt about that. God gave us good wives, and thank goodness it's working out. He even gave a sinner like me one. I've got a problem because, you know, I've done a lot of political stuff. I've been involved in local elections. I ran the Pat Buchanan campaign, and we won that in Alaska. I was so honored when President Trump called me and said, Jerry Ward, because we didn't know each other, I had never met him before, and he said, will you run my state campaign? And I said, sure, absolutely. You know, I was all for him. At that time, it was either Donald Trump or Ted Cruz, and I went with Donald Trump. I ran the campaign. It was a successful campaign, and after he won, I call it the gang, but really it's 50 state directors, and he was going through all 50 of them. I know that now. But when he got to Alaska, I said, congratulations, Mr. President. You've done a great job. We're looking forward to you straightening our country out. Let me know what I can do. And the senator knows Donald Trump, but I will tell you something. He always has something for you to do. And his was, get on the next airplane, fly to Washington, D.C., and come here and do the transition and the beachhead team for me. So I went back to Washington, D.C., and became a presidential appointee, did my 7 months there, then finally I had to have a meeting with the president. I said, I can't do this anymore. There is something wrong with these people that live in Washington, D.C., and I want to go home now. Plus, I had tried what we call staying up with Trump. Now, you can tell I'm talking about Julie's parents, so, you know, I've been around for a while. I made every attempt, along with the kids, to get up before Donald Trump and go to bed after Donald Trump. I made it about 3 weeks, and then I said, I'm done. You know, this guy don't sleep or something, or he's got a double. I don't know what it was, but I've never been around anybody that worked that hard in my life. We elected him. Nobody in this world will tell me that we were not cheated in the last election. Ranked choice voting, why did we get involved? By the way, I went and raised over $500,000 for ranked choice voting. And I'd like to tell you it was because of my brilliance and my able to put on fundraisers and do all the other things there were. It wasn't exactly quite like that. In Mar-a-Lago, General Flynn and Donald Trump and Sarah Palin called a lunch. And I was invited to the lunch. So I'm sitting there, and they all got up and did their things. And then when they're done, the president said, and you all have money, and now I want you to listen to Jerry Ward from Alaska. That's how I raised the money. And that's what we're up against. I know from the other side, George Soros and these guys, nobody wants to use the name, but he is a part of the dark money. That's the ones that brought this to Alaska. And back to that election, one time, we had beaten ranked choice voting on election night until they stopped counting. Now, where did those votes come from? Nothing against attorneys, but some attorney in a robe that had the political connections to become a judge said, oh, we have COVID. So we're going to count votes that don't have witnesses' signatures on them. Those are the votes that came in and put ranked choice voting into law in Alaska. And it would not have been here without that COVID and the Chinese disease that scared everybody, because there were no witness signatures on it. And so what has that done? We ended up having President Trump called up Sarah Palin and said, hey, run for Don Young's seat. He called me next and said, run her campaign. So we had a conflict between Nick Begich and Sarah Palin, and this Republican Party, the ones that you all belong to, I went to the leadership of it. And I said, quit saying rank the red. Say rank all 4 Republicans. Because I had 100 people come into Trump headquarters and they said, what is this red stuff? What is this? It's rank the Republicans. Now we're going to do away with ranked choice voting, but for this time, right now, we need to elect Donald J. Trump, repeal ranked choice voting, and rank 4 Republicans. We have to get rid of the Democrats, and I am not running for a public office. I'm running to be Republican chairman, so I'll be a little more blunt with you. This is treasonous what these Democrats are doing to us right now. And whether I pronounce Laken Riley's name correct or not, these people, including Mary Peltola, who may look like a sweet little girl, and she is, and I think she's great and all that stuff, but she's voting lockstep with him. They opened the borders up, they came over here and they killed Laken Riley. More importantly, my next door neighbor, a 19-year-old kid, Hayden Mills, I taught him to walk. He got online because he had a date, probably first date he ever had in his life. He was going to get a drug, because that's what you do when you're 19. Got online, put the money out in the mailbox. They came up, dropped it off, put the drugs in there, took the money. She couldn't come over. Hayden Mills, 19-year-old kid born in Alaska. He took that pill. It was supposed to be a get high date pill or something like that. Had fentanyl in it. The Chinese Communist government gave it to Mexico. They brought it to Alaska, and I went to Hayden Mills' funeral. That's what we're talking about. This is treason what they're doing. They bring in some 9 million military-aged men. We are now under attack. Thank you all that served here, but I know when I was 17 years old, I asked my dad, I said, and I never knew this before. I said, Dad, I listened to John F. Kennedy back when Democrats were Democrats. I was a Democrat. I said, I want to go kill the godless communists. And he said, out of all the boys, and he had a half a dozen of them, he said, I figure it would be you. And on the way to the airport after he signed for me, my dad told me, I signed up when I was 17. I ended up working on the Alcan Highway, and I came up here and met your mom, Athabascan Indian, and here you are. But until that moment, I never knew my dad was even involved in World War II. Had no idea whatsoever. He took the same oath as me. He took the same oath as Senator Sullivan. We are going to protect this country from all enemies, foreign and domestic. And we have domestic enemies right now. This is not the Democratic Party of Red Boucher or Bill Egan or any of the people that were involved when I grew up in this. This is a communist, godless country right now, and there is not going to be another election. And that's why I'm running for chairman of the Republican Party, because I think the Republican Party has failed 100%. They are leading from the top down, and that is absolutely ridiculous. If I am your chairman, and if you enjoyed Lincoln Day dinners, and if you enjoyed Republican picnics, you probably ought to not vote for me. Because we are going to have not only grassroots, precinct leaders, district chairmen, that's it. That's the people who are going to be running this. That's the people that are going to elect Donald Trump, repeal ranked choice voting, put a Republican congressman into Congress, and put a super majority into the state house and the state senate so they can't caucus and let the Democrats be in control. Because this has got to stop. Otherwise, my grandkids will not have a place to grow up. Quick story, because none of you guys got to do this. Donald Trump would not come to Alaska when he was running because it's not a battleground state. One of the guys forced him in going into Washington State for a rally. I got on the airplane. I flew down there. The state chairman running the campaign there says, oh, okay, come on in, I'll let you in. I'm in a room with 200 people. 200. There's this guy with a great big picture of Donald Trump. And he tried to pick it up and he couldn't carry it. And he said, hey, you. Because I must look like I'm a staff or something. Okay. He said, can you help me carry it? I said, sure. So we're carrying this big picture. They send us all to another room. The 200 people, they excused 100 of them. They went somewhere, I guess, to get seats out in the 15,000 stage. All right, those 100 people, I still got this big picture. Everybody moved. Then it got down to 30 people. President Trump, 29 other people. That guy left me. I have big picture. Big picture painting of Trump. Then they said, go to the walkway or whatever it is. Got to the walkway. 3 people, President Trump, one of them, and me. 2 of them left. There I am with the president, going to be president of the United States with this big picture. And President Trump says to me, and he looks at me and eyes me up a little bit. He goes, why do you have a big picture of me? I said, I don't know. They told me that you were going to sign it, and then they were going to auction it off and make a bunch of money for the Republican Party. And he said, I'm not signing that. Okay, and I put it up against the wall. And he said, who are you? Where are you from? I said, I'm Jerry Ward. I'm an Alaska Native Vietnam combat veteran. I served in the House and Senate, and I am your state director for Alaska. And he goes, oh, I've talked to you. And the senator will know this about President Trump. His next words were, instead of follow up, anything else, were this. What do you want to ask me? That's what this president is. Because I was a person. And I asked him, I said, with all the money and all the power and all the celebrity that you have, why are you doing this? And he said this, I married a young, beautiful woman, and she has given me a son. And I and my family can live the rest of our lives anywhere on this world that we want to. But my dad left me America. And if I don't do this right now, there will be no America for my son. That's why President Trump ran. And he is right now under 5 separate lawsuits. They're trying to destroy him, destroy his family. And this is where you come in. I'm up here trying to be Republican Party chair. You got to come to this. Then these Republicans decide you got to pay $400 to go to the next step. That's ridiculous, by the way. We would never do that again. But if... that's not Alaska. That is not what we do. I mean, it really isn't. This is a bunch of garbage. This is a bunch of elitists running this thing. But if President Trump can take all of those arrows and all of those things stabbing at him, and he can get up and fight every day, then you, people in this room, you either pay your $380 or whatever it is to go, or you talk to somebody who's going to go, and you go to that state convention, and you elect me as chairman if you want to have something really done, because don't need to do this. Guy pretty earlier said, how much do you get paid? None of these people, including Cynthia, nobody gets paid to do this stuff. I've been blessed. You know, plus my wife's my broker, and I'm a real estate agent. I can't get fired, maybe. So I also have enough money where I can do this, and I have the time, and I come back to that oath when I'm 17 years old. I am now fighting the enemies of America because it is domestic. They have taken it over. They are not going to stop. This is for the very soul of America, and let me just get real personal because it took me a long time to figure this out. This is 100% evil, this is 100% good, and this is 100% God Almighty, and this is Satan. There is no difference right now, and we are fighting literally as the last armed Christian nation in the world, and if we don't win this, then the godless one world government will have taken us over, and my kids and grandkids won't have any place to live. And so that's why I want to be the Alaska Republican Party chairman, and you will get exactly what you see. Thank you.